there's a lot of places and a lot of study and a lot of contemplation that we can do around dreams. But in this video, I want to talk particularly how you can take a dream that might be troubling or just have a lot of emotion involved in it, and you can wake up the next day and utilize that to tap into your inner guidance system. So the first thing you would want to do is, as soon as possible, write your dream down and write as much detail as you can, because what I have found is as I write a dream and I start going into the detail, I start remembering more details about the dream. So get it all written down. The next thing you'll want to do is really think about what your main emotions were, what you were feeling during the dream. So were you feeling insecure? Were you feeling overwhelmed? Perhaps you were feeling like vulnerable, or you were feeling angry. There's so many different emotions that might have surfaced during that time. So write down the emotions that you were feeling during the dream, the prominent ones. Once you've figured out what your main emotional track was during the dream, then you need to ask yourself, where in your life have you been feeling that way? And that is usually where it's very telling. So let me give you an example. A more bizarre dream that I had last night was about a monkey, and I was at this gathering, and this teacher, everybody in the gathering knew we were learning from her, and she started talking, about admirable qualities in a person, and then she said, which is why I love Elizabeth so much. And she looked over at me, and everybody looked over at me, and I was taken aback because I had no idea she was going to do that. And she had this monkey, and she said, which is why I want to give her the opportunity to take care of, I'm going to entrust her with my monkey. And it sounds kind of bizarre. That's what I'm saying about dreams. They can be very bizarre. And I felt, honored in one way, but also it felt, I felt imposed upon, and I didn't want to watch this monkey. I didn't want to have to live up to this expectation of what she just told everybody I was. And I had to leave and take her monkey so she could finish the class. And this monkey kept trying to get away, and I was so afraid that the monkey would get away from me and then be lost, and I'd have to tell her, here I'm in charge of her monkey, which was kind of almost like childlike, like a child almost. And then I'd have to tell her I lost it. So I was like trying to hold on to this monkey that wasn't cooperating, and I was getting really angry with it and like squeezing it. And then I finally found this room that we could go in and it could play, and I could close this in, it wouldn't be able to run away. And I went in there to wait it out, and I let it go, but it kept trying to bite me, like it was angry with me because I had been angry with it and hadn't been gentle and kind to it. And I felt like I had let her down, the monkey down, everybody down, myself down. And it was so weird, and I was trying to think, what in the heck does this dream mean? And I was trying so much to make up to the monkey for that and to be kind and show it how much I really loved it, and just kicking myself at the same time that I hadn't been more patient. And when I woke up, I was like, okay, what were the elements of this dream? What were the emotions I was feeling? And it was just a ton of anxiety. It was an emotion of expectation, which is one of the things that are one of the phantoms that we deal with in tier 2 of my courses. So there was this ton of expectation and responsibility being dumped on me that I didn't ask for, and I didn't want to have, and I was starting to resent. And on the other hand, I didn't feel like I had like the leeway to say anything else. Like it was just dumped on me so quickly. Like I didn't really have a chance to say, oh, no, thank you. It was just this expectation of me. And so I was like, where else in my life am I feeling this way? And I could start to reflect. I'm not going to go into details of my personal life that way, but I could start to reflect where there were some things in my life where I have been feeling that way, feeling like there's just expectations there of me, and that I'm expected to be this really good person all the time and have all these good qualities. And because I have those, I'm expected to take on the responsibility of other people's things that they don't want to be responsible for, or whatever, you know. It's not an overwhelming big part of my life, but there are things in my life where that is still playing out. And so now what? So now I have this information. Now I'm more aware of this. What now? So for myself, it's about pivoting from it. Where is this true, and where is this maybe a little bit of fear and insecurity coming in? And how can I pivot from that fear and insecurity about the situation? In other words, I might be feeling like I'm being taken for granted and expected. Then I have to ask myself, is that true? Are these people particularly doing that? Is that really true? Or is that just a reflection of my own insecurity and what I think they expect and what I think they're doing? Or there's some boundaries that I need to put in place here. So you can see that you can take dreams and you find out how they feel, and then you apply that, or you see where it applies in your waking life. Where do I feel like that in my waking life? It's usually not something from the way back past, unless something from the past has recently surfaced or been talked about. Then sometimes we may have dreams from our past, or sometimes subconsciously we're trying to still work something out that happened that we didn't have closure on yet. And so we may have repeated dreams around that particular issue that's trying to be worked out. But the same thing applies. It's like looking at it going, okay, or where have I felt this way? And what do I need to do about it to pivot from it, to grow, to learn, to flip it so that it is something that this is what I've learned from it and this is how I've grown from it, rather than this is what I'm victim to. And then the other thing that you can do is look up symbolism. But even before you look up symbolism, ask yourself, what does the symbol mean to you first? Because that's at the first place it's going to play out. It's your own subconscious. So the language that you have, the meaning that you give things, is what's first going to be playing out in the dream. So where, like, if we dreamt about a dolphin and we look up the symbolism in it, and it means that happy things are going on in your life or coming your way. But in the dream, we were terrified of the dolphin, or we've always been afraid of anything from the ocean. Then the symbolism might be a little bit different than what a dream dictionary would give you. So first ask yourself, what do these symbols mean to me? What do they represent to me? Only do as much as you need to feel satisfied that you kind of worked it through. You don't have to do all these steps. You could wake up, recall the dream, ask yourself how you felt, ask yourself, without even writing it down, ask yourself where you've been feeling that way. Ask yourself what kind of affirmations or ways you need to pivot, or boundaries you may need to have. You may be able to do it all within laying there in bed and recalling your dream. You don't always have to get up and write it down. Do as much as you feel like you need to work through it, or you feel good about working through it. Realize that your dreams are there, that they can actually tell you something about yourself and tune you in a little deeper to who you are and where you are in your evolution of life. And that is a really thrilling place to be. The more you tune in to yourself, right? You get in tune. The more you click into your intuition, that's intuition. You're clicking in and coming into alignment. And are those type of emotions and things that are coming up help us to know what thought patterns that we are having that might be causing us to feel depressed, crappy, angry, agitated throughout our day. Because anytime we feel these type of emotions going on in our life, it is because we have beliefs or thoughts that are going through our minds. Sometimes we're not super conscious about it because, like I said, we're busy, that are causing us, that are not in alignment with our truth, with who we are on the inside, which is love and light. And so dreams are just another way to help us tune in, to get more in tune with where we're at in our evolution. And I have found it to be very powerful work as I have gone through my healing journey from trauma and abuse as a child. I used to have dreams of being chased constantly, and terrifying dreams, and I always felt really super unsafe, and they were terrorizing dreams. And as I worked through and started working through my dreams and bringing them, out into the open, talking about them or writing about them, I realized they started evolving as I was healing, and watching that transformation was amazing to me. And I think one of the last times I had a dream that I was being chased, it may have been the last time, and it was years and years and years ago, I turned around and I pushed my pursuer. I just pushed him, like I faced him in my dream. And those dreams have ceased. So it's really cool to see how when you grow stronger, and to see how your dreams start to reflect that. It is really cool when you start to say, whoa, like, yeah, that's right in line with what I was going through. And it gives you such insight. And I always tell my clients, awareness is so key. When something becomes clear to your mind, it starts to shift and change and evolve. It starts to just clear out, where before it was, you knew it was there, but you weren't really aware of when it was coming in, and when certain things were coming in and kind of taken over. I would love to hear your comments below if you've done any of this kind of work, and how it's worked out for you to analyze your dreams and to allow them to help you see where you are in your journey here on planet Earth. I hope this has been helpful. If you enjoy my videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and then hit that bell so you get updated when I put out a new video. I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye, my peeps.